These are the requirements that you need to have in order to date me.
Let's see if we can help her out. What are your requirements?
Number one is that you need to be making at least $130K a year. And you need to have at least 2 side hustles. You have to have at least 3 cars. Your second car has to have 8 seats because I have 3 kids. I want them to be comfortable whenever we go with you on a trip or something. You want me to come with you, I'm gonna bring my kids. And another requirement is that you have to have a property under your name, and you have to be looking into getting your second property. You have to get a home that has 6 rooms. And if you cannot meet those requirements, then you're not one.
Boy, that's a tough one. Who can we find for this lovely young lady who has a lot of money, works too many jobs, controls mass transportation, owns an absurd amount of property, wants your kids around all the time, and doesn't care what kind of person you are? You know what? I think I know just the guy. Get ready to meet your new husband, the United States government.
Do be fooled, gentlemen. Those blubbery tatas might seem like a safe space to rest your head, but many brethren have tried before you, and you will not be the last. And today we're going to touch on the discussion of why females just don't seem to get it, why men are just completely opted out of the dating scene. And it's not just females' problems, men have problems too. We're also the ones paying all these sugar mamas to show all their ass online, so we are some to blame too. Hey, you know, hold your credit cards, hold your wallets, cancel your debits. But I do want to, touch on this topic further, and if you personally have any thoughts and opinions on the current shitty dating scene, or whichever gender you are, or maybe you're both, I don't know, feel free to let me know down below in the comments. And now let's begin this shit show.
I'm a single mom. Of course no man is ever going to want me because I have too much baggage. I'm a single mom. Of course I'm the lowest fruit on the tree. I'm a single mom. Of course I need to be staying at home the nights that my children are with their father instead of going out socializing with friends. I'm a single mom. Of course I need to step up and finally be a parent for once. I'm a single mom. Of course I shouldn't have standards for me and my children because beggars can't be choosers. I'm a single mom. Of course I should stay with my children's father because settling for the bare minimum and letting my children grow up in a broken home is so much better than growing up in 2 homes where the parents are both happy and healthy.
As a man, it's always so interesting to see which females are the single mothers, because they always seem to be the ones that if I was looking back at my younger self, hell, the demon of lust might have took myself over, and I might have also had a hard time pulling out on some of those. So I can't necessarily blame some of my fellow brethren, but gentlemen, you really have to watch yourselves, because these days, with the child support system, with the government, especially with the state I'm in, we're really female friendly in terms of the custody battles. So even if you're trying to be a good dad, good luck in court. But I do really want to break it down where it's like when females offer in some of these videos, okay, let's say you're going to do a business deal. Let's say before money existed, back when currency was just barter and trade. When you're coming into an offer to a deal, what are you really going to be trying to persuade them with? Well, you're going to try to tell them all they're going to get, all the offers you're going to get, all the benefits, why it's going to be better to have this deal than without it. Versus a lot of the females, when they try to, if you scroll through any dating apps, I kind of gave up on those a while ago when I was in my early 20s. I started them, but now I've just given up on dating altogether. But it's kind of insane to think how when a lot of these females say, hey, come and get with me. I want a real man. I want you to provide everything, and I want you just to love me for my sexy body. But if you treat me like an item and you only look at me for my sexy body, which is, by the way, the only thing I offered you, you're a misogynist and you're a man, and we hate men around here. Well, I don't know about around here. This is kind of all men. My entire audience is men. But it's a very interesting perspective when you think about, a lot of men don't want to be men either. A lot of men aren't really stepping up. Careers don't exist anymore. So good luck, ladies, finding a man in the tax bracket that can actually, give you a family or a house or a foundation. Those don't exist anymore. Most men can't even have them for themselves. So now we're splitting the cost between both the people, the man and the woman, Now they're a woman. We're really using that last part of the word there because women have to step up these days. It has to be a double income household. I'm saying that for the ladies in the back. So if, I don't know, maybe start selling stuff on Etsy. I don't recommend the OnlyFans, but hey, a lot of the girls you're going to find these days have probably already done that in the past.
I'm negative in my bank account.
Fuck's that got to do with me? Fuck you mean, dog? Cool.
You're not gonna help me out?
Help you out, bro.
Babe, I'm negative.
Does it just read Wells Fargo, Capital One, Chase Bank on my forehead? What? I don't understand. That's not my problem.
Well, I thought you were gonna be sweet and be like, yeah, babe, I'll give you $500 bucks.
I don't know what fucking world you live in, what girl math.
You're not gonna take care of me?
Babe, I take care. Okay, hold on. Explain this shit to me. How you
You're a
use...
terrible boyfriend.
How do you use my card for everything, yet you're still negative in your shit?
Well, once your shit said declined, I started using mine, and then when my one
So
declined...
you rinsed me, and then you rinsed yourself, and you didn't even ask. You just rinsed us both?
Well, I was just expecting you to, like, go make more money. And now I'm negative, so I need more.
You say, I have to treat you better. You hear yourself?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
You're supposed to be a man and take care of me.
Okay, what we're really going to do, what we're actually going to do is we're going to schedule a therapy session for you, probably this next week. We're going to get it...
Yeah, but I spent it on necessities.
Should have spent it on a fucking therapy session, man. You need, like, I'm talking clinical help. This is something out of this world.
So you're not going to help me?
Babe, honestly...
You know I can find someone who will,
You need
right?
professional
You know
help.
that I can find someone who will, right?
Go ahead, then.
Okay.
They ain't daddy. I don't give a fuck. You gonna be crying in the club with all that bullshit.
Okay, well, my mans will be able to take care of me.
Well, currently your man's is me.
Well, not anymore.
And I did take great care of you, but you rinsed me. So I'll be glad to let
It's
you go.
not my fault you can't afford it.
My money will stack up.
It's not my fault you can't afford it.
Alright, just say that then. That's all you want. It's just
Okay,
money.
bye.
Alright.
The common complaints I often hear from ladies these days is that they're sick of being looked at like items. They're not just, items that you can just use and abuse and throw to the side when we're done with. But yet, a lot of the time, when they're pitching themselves to men, they only really pitch their body, their looks, and what they have to offer in terms of a nice Instagram picture. They don't really show anything else, They say, oh, well, I'm nice, I'm funny, I'm kind. But hey, anybody can pretend to be that, and there's always a mask behind. So really, it's like, I'm not saying you have to say, oh, I can cook and clean and I can do whatever, but we need some, feminine projection here.
Your standards are just too high. I'm a 30-year-old single black female prioritizing gut health and protein intake. I can squat 250. I've written 2 books and speak 3 different languages. In the last 6 months alone, I've created 4 different applications and 2 different programs across the iOS platform. Not to mention, I started diversifying my financial portfolio at 23.
Look, man, ladies, I mean, we done tried to tell y'all, but I'm not gonna say the obvious. But close your eyes and pretend the voice that you hearing that just gave that description had a couple of, and just pretend it was some octaves lower than that pitch. Like, would you be turned off by that if that was a man describing himself? If you asked him, what, tell me about yourself, and that's what he gave you? Like, would you be attracted to that description from that man? No, you wouldn't. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, men don't care about degrees, blah, blah, because men do care about this stuff. It's just not the only thing. And then these women, these types, make it their entire personality. And like I've said a million times before, y'all don't like men who do this, who make money, who make their stock portfolio, who make their careers, who make their cars, or whatever the case may be, the fact that they might play a sport. Like, y'all don't like men who make that their entire personalities, right? So why the fuck would men like a woman that make those types of things, accomplishments, money, whatever, their entire personalities? Fuck all these think pieces, blah. Like, it's literally that simple. And y'all understand this, because when it's a man doing the same exact thing, you're turned off. You guys like to say, oh, he just sounds like he's overcompensating for something, right? She's trying to convince herself why she's not in a relationship. But hey, man, she became the man she always wanted.
You need some real love, some nurture, some nature. That's what men are looking for, the nurture aspect. And that's kind of gone out the window because, you can just fake your titties, you can fake your ass, you can fake your eyelashes, you can fake your face, you can fake your profile. Hell, you can even fake your personality to an extent. I mean, you don't really know anybody for a couple months after dating them. That's kind of the studies that they show. That's why you shouldn't get married right away. That's why, probably wouldn't end up that well. Sometimes it does, most times it doesn't. So do you personally feel like marriage is kind of an old concept that now these days in the modern times, these newer generations, these younger generations, they don't really care about that? Mostly because they don't really ever expect themselves to live that long, but also because they don't really ever see themselves being able to find a soulmate or a match or a partner that would generally suit them for the longevity. I'm gonna wrap up this video discussing how all the hot babes are taken. They're secured away in my bed, so don't worry about them, fellas. And if you personally have any thoughts, opinions regarding the dating scene right now, or the lack of dating scene right now in your life, feel free to leave those thoughts, opinions down below in the comments. I always love to read through those, sort through those, and respond to the ones I see fit. As well as a huge shout out to hang with you guys, checking out those links down below in the description. Those are always some of the best ways to support me and the content around here. If you can't take me on a date, sugar me. So the links down below are the best way. So I want to appreciate you. God bless. Bye.